D, fashion choices were made in this episode.
Gosh.
What is with the fur coats with Madeline and Luke? Are they trying to dress like they're puppies, like a whole little furry puppy family?
I was thinking they look more like pimps.
I mean, both are fun. I guess both can lick your face and hump your leg. I don't know, channel surfers, what do you think? Pimps or puppies? Pick your poison. This is 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 13, J'ai un rêve. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
I wish they would give us something in fucking English that we can pronounce. I'm sorry.
Hey, channel surfers, welcome to Remote Reality. This is the sunshine of all sunshine, D.
Back from the holidays.
Back from the holidays. What a wild time. I hope everybody else is recovering.
I still don't think I'm recovered, but I'm working on it.
Decide to give it a go. And I'm Lauren, your friend and attorney podcast host who loves to overanalyze everything, especially my favorite reality TV shows. And today we're talking about 90 Day, The Other Way, Season 7, Episode 13. I'm not going to try to say it in French again. It means I have a dream.
Oh, okay.
How does that wrap into the storylines?
I don't know.
Like Chloe and Johnny, her mom's dream of her coming back to Boston.
Could be. Anthony's miming.
His dream of being a mime.
Mime, yeah.
Minot's fever dream of scary-ass mimes thinking they're doing romantic things for her in public.
Oh my gosh, poor Manon.
Greta's crushing Matthew's dreams and probably her own. Those are nightmares. Luke and Madeline's dream of being Pimps or Puppies, and Patia and Dylan's dream of
the world where his mom doesn't call.
We have dreams for this episode. And channel surfers, Dee and I so much appreciate you joining us today for 90 Day The Other Way.
Absolutely.
We love seeing your comment. We love talking with you on the social medias. And if you haven't become a channel surfer already, make sure to hit join on YouTube. It is free to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. If you're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, give us that 5-star review. Let people know we're out here kind of new. Share this with your favorite 90 Day groups. Bring them in. Bring in the channel surfers.
So that they will come.
I'm a little bit dressed up after do some attorney stuff. Although I gotta go do that boring lawyer stuff. But first, let's have some fun. This just means I'm going to go to this lunch being goofy. I already sent my colleague a picture of the family Photoshop portrait that I meant to send to Dee.
Gosh.
Could have been worse. Honestly, some of his name.
Could have sent it to your mother-in-law.
See, I'm banking on her never listening to this podcast. My language alone would
mortify her.
Absolutely. All right. This trash smells fresh. Let's dive right into this dumpster with Chloe and Johnny. Now, when did we go from Chloe to Chloe and Johnny to Jonathan?
I don't know, but moms, depending on the mood they're in with their kids, will change the names. So it probably has more to do with Michelle's mood.
It's a lot going Jonathan now, too.
Yeah, she's not happy with him. Yeah, she's not happy with him.
Could use the full name, Johnny, whatever it is.
Yeah, when she throws that middle name in, he'll know for sure.
So we start out with Michelle asking Johnny and Chloe if they want to go on a jog. Chloe is my energy on this. Chloe is like absolutely nuts. Anything to do with exercise. I mean, honestly, walking to my car is enough for the day. If I get my 500 steps in, I'm good. I'm not going running. In Aruba, where it's hot and humid.
Anybody that knows me wouldn't even ask that question. They would already know. Yeah.
And Michelle, I mean, big bragger here. 4.5 miles per hour. I mean, I'm 1 mile per hour. I got it. I'm moving.
I'm just
maybe not the pace you want me to.
I'm just gonna fucking crawl. Forget running. I ain't doing it.
I will after a few tequila shots. One more, please.
I did get ambitious a couple of years ago because I hate running. I hate walking. And I was like, but I like to roller skate. So I got me some roller skates and thought I'll just skate. I even looked it up. You burn more calories doing the roller skates. You get more attention to your core. So you're doing better with your core. I've not made it out of the driveway. I didn't make it out of the living room. I fell in the living room testing them out. And I'm like, forget it. I'm not going to go out on the street.
Well, Rob, Jake, and I may be getting rollerblades for Christmas.
Oh.
I wonder if they'll be used.
Well, I told myself I'm going to order all the protective gear and then try it again.
I'm going about the protective gear. I might come back saying some crazy stuff and I'll be like, that's what you get for exercising. Get off them rollerblades.
It's not good for your health.
It's not. So Michelle's plan here is to get all up in Johnny and Chloe's business and ask him about the infidelity that Chloe revealed in the last episode. They jog over to Eagle Beach and Johnny is pointing out the trees. They're called Wiki Wiki trees. Hold on. Divi Divi trees. So I looked up about this. The Divi Divi trees in Aruba, they call it the compass of the land because all of the wind blows northeast. So the trees all point southwest. And they say if you get lost, look at a Divi Divi tree because it will always be pointing south.
I love that.
And I think Michelle was probably a little bit lost on this trip here. He's like, girl, get back on track. See that Divi Divi tree over there? Yeah, that one. I know you got some questions for me, but let me tell you a little secret. That's your daughter Chloe's spy treehouse hideout, where she comes and sits and watches me work. So what questions did you have for me?
But he doesn't. He's so sweet. I just love him.
He doesn't give it away. The man is a steel trap. She's going to have to waterboard him to get anything out of him about Chloe. He's not even going to tell her about how she was even dating other people when the alleged infidelity occurred, which bullshit. This is such bullshit.
Yeah, she's got some major issues about it. She doesn't trust him with Chloe now. You know, what happens if she's here by herself and you do something like that? Then she's all alone.
He says, okay, now we have had a conversation. We've defined the relationship. We have agreed to not see other people. This was early in our relationship. We didn't have that discussion. So, I mean, I would always assume that until you have that discussion, your discussion with somebody, you're a free agent.
That's the way I would look at it. Until you have that commitment and exclusive, you're still dating other people.
That's what dating is.
Yeah. I just, he could have thrown Chloe under the bus just like she did him, but he didn't. He was so nice about it. I would have probably said, well, maybe you need to talk to her because she was seeing people too. I would not have been as nice.
She's like, I would have been shady. I would have thrown that bitch under the bus and then run it back over her.
Yep. I'd have backed it up over her.
I love what he said, that he was going to show her, Michelle, what a great guy he is. He's not going to throw somebody under the bus to make himself look better. He'll just prove what a great person he is. What an awesome point of view.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure she's seeing it now as she rewatches the show. She can see he's been awesome.
I wonder how much TLC editing played a part here, because after he tells her this, she's like, once a cheater, always a cheater, which after what Johnny says, that doesn't make sense. But the catch here is you don't see chronologically them have this conversation and on the tail end in the same scene, see they're saying that.
Right.
This has been placed there. This audio bite, it was put there for the editing. Hold on. What was I thinking? Now, one thing Michelle does say is, shouldn't you have had that conversation already? What did you think about that comment to Johnny? The conversation about monogamy. She says, shouldn't you have had that conversation already?
Well, looking at it from the perspective that she's been told, she thinks that he has cheated. So it's hard for him to acknowledge or have a conversation with her about that because he knows that they weren't exclusive and it wasn't cheating. So you're kind of like in this.
But he told her that it was early on and they hadn't had that conversation. And she said, well, why hadn't you had it? Shouldn't you have had it already? Why? You know what? I just feel like this is inserting herself too much into this relationship. Her daughter should be perfectly capable of asking if they're exclusive, and she didn't.
Right. I think that her mom, I don't know. Do you think, is Chloe an only child?
I don't know.
I'm wondering if she's an only child. Yeah. I'm wondering if she's not an only child. And I think her mom is just struggling with letting go and hanging on at the same time. And she's just over inserting herself in this, like you said. And she's out of the country. It's not like her daughter's in the United States or a couple of states away. I mean, mom is probably dealing with a lot of emotional stuff. Not that it's right what she's doing.
Be worried,
yeah,
because she's always given her a financial safety net. And she may not know if Chloe can take care of herself.
Well, Chloe's
to do that in a foreign country for the first time.
Right.
Where Natalie Holloway went missing.
Yeah. And I think listening to the past episodes, the two of them, I think that mom has, Chloe has allowed her mom to control a lot of stuff in her life because she gets the benefit is the money and everything that mom financially supports her with.
But also, I know a persuasive and persistent parent who, are you guys going to move yet? Are you guys going to move yet? Are you guys going to move yet? Have you bought that rug yet? Have you bought that rug yet? And it will continue for months and years until you finally do what is being asked. How many times have we heard Boston? Probably one of the top 5 words that Michelle is saying during her thing.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but also the mother of 2 adult children who live over 4 hours away from me. If I could have my kids in the same city with me, I would love it. So I think
I'll send my kid to your city.
Huh?
I'll send my kid to your city.
Okay.
4-year-old.
Yeah, sure. I can do it.
Careful what you wish for.
I've been through 2 4-year-olds. I'll be fine.
Oh, this one has the strength of 24-year-old. I'm just surprised that Michelle tells Johnny she needs to trust him. Like, she needs to trust that her adult daughter can take care of herself, even if she and Johnny don't make it. And then just like on top of that, there's this scene in the second part where they're crossing the street going to the airport and she has to grab Chloe's hand, which grab my hand across the street. That's a very childlike reaction. If you can't trust her to cross the street on her own, what are you doing? Asking her to come back to Boston to run your business.
Good point. Maybe
bad idea.
Maybe it was just a habit. Maybe it was just an excuse. She's getting ready to get on a plane and she wants any excuse she can to hold on to her little girl for a little while longer. I don't know, but that makes sense. If you don't think she can cross the street without you holding her hand, why are you offering to give her this position in your business to run that is going to require a lot of responsibility and things like that? So
sounds like a bad idea. Or it's just a front for what she's really dealing with. She's got her bags packed. She asked Johnny to take them out to the car. I would have been like, bye, see you later, bitch. How fast can we move you out of here? I need to get you out of my business as soon as possible. But Johnny is very polite, very gracious of a host. He takes her bags out, and Michelle takes the opportunity to say, hey, Chloe, you know what's in this wallet? Yeah, it's credit cards. That's right. Cards, baby. And I will get you a first class ticket back to Boston. What do you say?
I'll take the credit cards, but I'm not going back to Boston.
I loved it. I loved it. She can't afford to support Chloe in Aruba. I'm calling bullshit storyline because I'm offering to buy you a first class ticket back to Boston.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of their segment, this is where I think the truth is coming out. Speaking of dreams, Michelle has this dream of what her daughter's life would look like. She was going to get married and have children and live right down the street in Boston. And they would go for ice cream on Saturdays and go see the Red Sox play. And now that her daughter has her own dream of Aruba and this life with Johnny, she's mourning the loss of what she imagined Chloe's life to be. And she's having trouble letting go of that. She never had control over that from the get-go. Her daughter could never want to get married or have kids. Her daughter, as we see now, has decided to go to a different country. What she needs to do is embrace Chloe's dream and what that future that Chloe is choosing is going to look like. I mean, vacations to Aruba. There's been 6 weeks there.
I'd be buying a house. I'd be spending half of the year there if I had her money.
Playing with your grandkids at the beach.
Exactly.
So she has to let go of her dream and let Chloe have hers. And I'm proud of Chloe for holding firm here. She knows she's getting cut off. She was offered a first class ticket and she wants to figure this out herself. And she said, I'm going to make you proud, Mom. I think she will.
Yeah, I think she will too. I think her mom's having a hard time letting go.
Chloe Fuchsius say, hold on, that bird fly thing that she made up. Chloe. So it's not Confucius. Chloe Fuchsius. When the bird flies from the nest, let it fly.
I believe it's you're supposed to kick their ass out of the nest and make them fly.
And Michelle's like, I don't think that's how it goes. But she wasn't going to correct her. She didn't want to kick her out of the nest. And Chloe's like, oh, well, it makes sense to me. So that's what it is now. I need a t-shirt. When the bird fly from the nest, let it fly.
Nobody would know what it meant.
And on the merch. I think that's it. I think we hit. You know who else probably wouldn't kick a bird out of the nest?
Who?
Greta and Matthew.
Oh.
Be like, we're going to build you a little birdhouse with little teacups. And you guys can just drink it. And it'll be so cute. We'll even put lights in it. Maybe a Christmas tree for Christmas. A little bird block.
They'll have a little ladder going up and down so that it doesn't get hurt trying to fly.
Because who's getting hurt trying to spread her wings and fly is Greta.
Greta.
Greta is looking for minced vegetarian meat to make a mince pie. She goes to the grocery store and she's shopping and she gets some carrots and some potatoes. And well, this was after she gets on her computer and video chats with the SOS Wives group, which is like one friend
that shows up. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, where's the group? This is one person. Hannah.
And what is wife? Is this like the blind leading the blind? Should these people be giving each other advice?
Yeah, because SOS, that's someone stop, right?
Help.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the signal for help. Someone stop.
Are we getting advice from the people that need advice? I don't know. It's wild. But she starts unloading on her friend about how she told Matthew she wasn't sure if she wanted kids. And we heard Matthew in the last episode say he would be double the father. But apparently afterwards in the car, he told her, that's fine. Like, I want to be with you, regardless of what decision you make. For a lot of people, kids are going to be a deal breaker.
He told her in the car that if they didn't have kids, it was not a deal breaker. Yes.
Not a deal breaker for him. It would be for most people, but for him, it's not. Which for me, it was a deal breaker. I think for a lot of people, whether or not you want kids would be a deal breaker. But for some people, it's not. And for him, he realizes, this is what I want. This is what I think is happening. I think, like you said, Chloe is self-sabotaging.
Greta.
Damn it. This is the Mondayest of Tuesdays. So let's rewind it back a few episodes. Greta is talking with Matthew's family, and she brings up this very vulnerable moment where she lost her mom and her stepmom threw away the Christmas ornaments. Immediately after that, after she shows this imperfection in her life, something that wasn't this perfect ideal world, that's when she brings up that she's not sure if she wants kids. Which news to everybody, because before this, she was cleaning out kids in their names with Matthew. Now that she's mentioned it to his parents, which to me is giving them a way out on a tray. Here's something that's usually non-negotiable. This way you don't have to not like me, but I'm giving you the reason to walk away. I'm creating that distance so that I don't get close to you like I was close to my mom and then lose you. I'm afraid of that sort of loss at this point. Here you are inviting me to Christmas, so let me put that distance in there. Well, now she has to mention it to Matthew because, well, she's mentioned it to his mom. And his reaction is not what she would expect. But he tells her, I will be double the dad. Like, I know that you really want to do your career. You're telling me this. You're telling me that animal advocacy is super important to you. That is fine. If we want kids, I will be double the dad. And then they get into the car and Matthew is saying, like, if you don't want kids, that's fine. So he's basically like, whatever you want, I'm fine with all of it. These are not deal breakers. So she goes to the store and she's getting things to shop for. And then she goes home and she's making this pie and she's frustrated. She says she feels like she's losing herself. She can't be this housewife, this perfect housewife that Matthew would want. When did Matthew say you wanted a perfect housewife? To me, it sounded like he was going to take over those chores and support her at the.
He said he wanted her. He loved her. No big deal. That's all that mattered to him as long as he was with her. So he's not said anything about wanting a housewife or anything like that.
And these are just excuses. This is just like, here's a reason that maybe he could reject me, even though he's telling her, no, it's fine. It's cool, dog. We're good. So he comes in and she's stressed out. She's like, I don't know if this is going to taste good. She had to zap those potatoes in the microwave, which I feel ya. I feel ya, Greta. That's like my go-to method of cooking. If it microwaves, that's what we eat. But he's like, no, this is great. This is awesome. Thank you. And then she asked him how he's doing after that conversation in the car where we talked about not having kids. And the response he gives her is that things are still feeling a little bit rocky, which the slightest bit of maybe he doesn't like me, I feel like explodes into a tailspin at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Because as soon as he says that, she's spiraling and then she starts giving him the reasons. I think I'm falling out of love with you. I don't think I love you anymore. I don't think that it's right. We're right for each other. You're a great person. You deserve different. You deserve someone that loves you and cares about you. As she's bawling her eyes out, which if you didn't think he was such a great person, I mean, you're saying he'd be the perfect husband. Why would you be crying? I think it's self-sabotage.
His face, I do too. And his face, bless his heart. I mean, it was just so heartbroken. So heartbroken.
And it's heartbreaking because she's afraid of being close to somebody and losing them again. He has unconditional love for her, like her mom. That's what we're seeing from Matthew, is this unconditional love.
Yeah.
Now, I have a second theory.
What's that?
She told her friend that they've had sex once, at least.
Since they've been there.
They got there. I was real impressed.
Well, isn't she the one with, well, I don't know. We said kitty style and stuff. So
Maybe he's not meeting her needs. And she's like, I'm not feeling the chemistry.
don't you think they would know that though? I mean, she had visited and stuff for a while before she actually moved over there. I don't know.
No idea. Maybe
That
that's why
kitty's
she's
not-
buying this parrot.
Yeah, that kitty's not purring for her.
Now she's mad. There was like one other thing. It's usually not a great idea to make a big life choice when you're going through a lot. This girl is in studying for the bar exam in law school during their relationship. Law school's 3 years. So basically, she's been studying to get this Juris Doctor and then studying for the bar, which is the most intense exam I ever took in my life. I have never been drained from gymnastics the way that I was when I took that bar exam. I mean, I wanted to sleep for days when it was over and my hand was crooked because I broke so much crap. And she's not exaggerating. 10 hours, you shut everything out when you take a bar. At least undiagnosed ADHD, me did, because I'm sitting there like, sit down for 10 minutes. Don't get up to get some water. Why are you getting up to get some water? Oh, maybe I have to pee. So it was even more of a challenge to study. Had been.
Well-
Like that distance, I think that's another thing where she's seeing, I used to flirt with him all the time. I used to send him nudes and now all of a sudden I'm not doing that. Does that mean our relationship isn't good? It's not perfect. Does that mean I'm choosing work over him? Maybe this isn't it. Maybe I should pull away before he does.
Yeah, that's a good possibility. And I'm sure the fact that she's dislocated in another country, not familiar with everything around her is adding to that. Because I get like that whenever I travel, just in the United States. Once I'm out of my comfort zone, my, brain gets a little wonky until I get back home.
She had this dream of Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth from Pride and Prejudice. This is how she envisioned life to be. Looking at the reality of it, she has put in 3 years of work and taken an exam, become a Juris Doctor, and then moved to a country where you don't need a Juris Doctor to practice law. You need a 4-year degree, and now she has to go through more certifications. So she spent all of this money for nothing. Her cat is just floating around back at the U.S. until she figures herself out. And she's not getting dick down good every night like she thought. It's not this like romantic Darcy and Elizabeth. It's not what she was imagining because life isn't as perfect as she can make it in her imagination.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Matthew had a dream, but she's just crushing that shit, putting it out like a cigarette, stomping it on the ground. This sounded like the end of a relationship. It sounded like we were having a little breakup talk.
I think so too. Well, I mean, even like, you know how they always show the couples before each segment that's them? When you saw their segment today, they were sitting on this bench and she's like all the way over on one end and he's all the way over on the other end of the bench. Like they're not even looking like a couple on the bench. So I knew as soon as I saw that, I was like, something's coming with Greta and
Well,
Matthew.
that's what the editors want you to think. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Matthew pulls another one out of his ass and surprises her.
Maybe he'll go to Oklahoma.
Is this the yin and the yang? Is he like balancing her out?
Maybe.
And speaking of going to Oklahoma, remember, Google research, I'm not licensed in the UK, but when I looked at immigration there, if she was there on a fiancé visa, she wouldn't even be able to volunteer without having a separate work visa. I was wondering if she's just over there on a work visa for them. And then, which is a great transition into Anthony and Manon, because I had the same feeling about this setup, the fact that they're married, the fact that they are living with parents. So you don't see them signing leases or doing anything to permanently settle in France. The same with Greta. I feel like being in social media and modeling, she probably met some people who were scouting for talent for 90 Day the other way. And they're like, oh, we'll squeeze this in. And what in a scary ass hell does Ben think romance is? Because this is the stuff of it.
I have no idea. I have a clown phobia anyway, so the mime is just too close to the clowns for me.
Here, that mime, her face looked gray. This looked like a corpse.
It was awful.
I mean, is the clown from It on his romance list? If we hide in the sewer with some red balloons coming out of it, nothing says love like red balloons.
I don't know what he's not. She is so totally right. She's like, you're not listening. You keep doing things that you want to do, thinking they're romantic. You're not listening to me. It's not even romantic.
Or what she liked and being like, I'm going to focus on what I like. Not romantic.
Yeah. So I know that Manon's going to be bringing Ben over here for a stroll. So I'm going to go and have this mime paint me up, put me in mime clothes, and stand there until Manon recognizes me. And she's going to think that's so romantic.
I'm Team Manon. I would just pretend like I don't know who that is. Can't tell what the makeup on. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's exactly. I would have been like, I don't know that person.
And to give a little bit of cultural reference, this is not the type of humor that the French appreciate. They like sarcastic humor, intellectual humor. This slapstick, party heart, it's not funny to them. This podcast, probably a total flop in France. I should go look at it. Probably like 0% of your listeners come from France because y'all are weird.
That'd be interesting.
Let me take a look at my notes real quick because there was some good stuff on there. And the cultural context of it. The French, they don't like slapstick, theatrical, or loud humor. Again, everything we are. Nope. They like discretion, elegance, social composure, emotional restraint, and not drawing unnecessary attention.
Manon. I was going to say Manon's from France.
This is socially awkward for her. Their culture values public decorum, how you carry yourself in society, which we have some of that here. Like, I would embarrass the hell out of my in-laws. We once showed up to Christmas morning with pajamas on to unwrap gifts with the family, and my father-in-law was so offended. He was like, this is not appropriate, Robert. I cannot believe you showed up in pajamas, which is why when we got married, we planned a pajama brunch, and then we showed up in a dress and suit. So what's even more inappropriate? Marriage in pajamas. And then my mother-in-law for Thanksgiving, she bought these decorative paper plates. And she was like, I don't feel like doing dishes, so we're going to put it on the china. We're not even talking about, the kind with like the blue flowers. These are like pretty Thanksgiving ones. But she was saying, my mother would be so offended that we're not eating directly off the china. So this humor, not for everybody. Do I like the pooping humor? Yes. Do I like the potty mouth? Yes. Do I like the crazy Ace Ventura shit? Yes.
From an Eddie Murphy person. Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. I like their kind of humor.
I didn't say the F word. Bill Cosby was wrong. I'm surprised Bill Cosby was offended by that, let's be honest.
Richard Pryor, well, fuck Bill Cosby.
There's a great Eddie Murphy documentary out right now.
Oh my gosh.
With Eddie Murphy. So yeah, but as a culture in France, this is just like total embarrassment. And he knows that. He went up to that mime and he was like, I'm goofy, she's serious. Even the mime understood that she would be embarrassed. Like the mime is picking up what Anthony is not.
It's sad. He's married to her. He should know. He knows. There's no way he doesn't know.
He told the mom,
and he still does it. Yeah. It's exactly what she said on last week's episode. He like manipulates her and pushes her to go and do the things that he wants. He just keeps pushing it.
Which really is why they are in France in the first place, aside from my production-driven storyline theory. Well, I guess this is the production storyline theory because we see it reoccurring throughout the episodes.
Right.
The theme keeps coming up.
Right.
But what says romance like a grown man with white face paint, insane, like Robin Brown painted on eyebrows? If you watch Sister Wives, you know what I mean. These aren't normal shapes of eyebrows. Flying around like an airplane. What's romantic about that?
Nothing.
Now, I do have a funny story. The moonwalk. My son, he's 4, and he thinks it's hilarious to moon people. We've gotten him to the point where he's not pulling down his pants to moon mom and dad. Over Thanksgiving, we're at my parents' house. And now the
Mhm.
moon, he just bends over. So he bends over and starts walking backwards. He's like, I'm doing the moonwalk. And then at my in-laws' house, he took a piece of toilet paper, like a tail, stuck it in the back of his pants, walked out in the living room and said, there's smoke coming out of my butt. I wonder if he saw some like cartoon where they farted and like a puff came out, but you thought it was hilarious.
He's
Sometimes
so
we're not finding it
entertaining.
funny. I wonder how French kids, like how they joke around. They're probably very intelligent and sarcastic and witty. Probably too smart for
Yeah,
me.
it wouldn't have
I
been.
wouldn't understand.
They wouldn't have been. They wouldn't have been allowed to come out of the bathroom with toilet paper hanging out their pants. Only us Americans would find that funny.
Okay, channel servers, we are having some recording difficulties. Podcast just like froze in the middle of recording. I couldn't get it to stop. I had to exit the studio and come back in. And then as soon as I came back in, my TV turned on and it's some YouTube video about Mario being naked. I like turned on, turned off, and are the spirits contacting us?
Maybe
We need
because
to listen for,
we were just talking about Jake with the mooning,
and he loves Mario.
and he loves Mario.
All right. I just wanted to share this with you guys in the middle of our podcast. We were just finishing Manon and Anthony. I'll be right back and we'll come back to Christina and Dylan. But crazy, y'all. There's somebody here. Someone's got a message for us. Probably
Mhm.
like y'all are crazy as fuck, but we know.
We
That's
are.
something new.
We are.
All right, Dylan and Patia are back for this week, and they're going camping. Patia's never been camping before, and Dylan's going to tell her everything she needs to know about camping. Let me go ahead and tell you, girl. Let's talk about camping. Your back is going to fucking hurt. This man is about to throw you out on a rolled up blanket to sleep on.
In a tent. Like there's not even a camper.
Hey,
I was like, I don't do camping. I do glamping, and that's the only way I'm gonna go. That's the only way I'm gonna go.
if I do glamping, I'm not pooping in the woods. Does glamping involve a latrine?
Glamping is like a full blown camper with all of the amenities. That's what I'm gonna do if I'm gonna go. I'm not tenting it, and I'm
Well,
definitely
she was out
not
there and it's
squatting.
raining, and she's seeming to enjoy it. I was like, you are a trooper.
Very much so. I don't, but it was weird. You could see that it was raining, but they didn't look wet. Like I could see the rain in the image, when they were doing the recording and stuff. But neither one of them had like wet clothes, wet hair. I'm like, how is it raining and they're not wet?
I didn't notice that.
I didn't think they looked wet. That maybe it's just me. I have eyesight issues. Maybe I missed something, but I
Well,
didn't.
so
think
do
they-
I. We both might be missing
I didn't
it.
think they looked wet.
I was interested in is what this was it Patty Moon?
The animal,
Yeah, the cute little animal.
Patty melons. Yeah,
Patty melon. Okay, yeah. So I looked it up and it's a small marsupial. So I guess it's like a tiny little kangaroo or something. Think of it as a baby wallaby or kangaroo that said, I'm going to stay fun size forever. It looks like a wallaby mixed with a rabbit.
That's what I was gonna say. It looked like a rabbit to me when they were flashing the light on it in the scene.
It's like 2 to 3 feet tall, which, oh my God, hold on. This reminds me of something. So there's this hilarious Facebook group that I'll tell you where it is when we get off. I'm not going to say where it is, but it's like a little country town in South Carolina. And another attorney tagged me in it because somebody had a question about my area of practice. So an all-star contributor on the group posted this recently. Okay, now, is this a donkaroo that I'm seeing at mile marker 60? Unbelievable. And if you're on YouTube, I'm trying to show it. I think it's like a baby deer. No.
What is that?
I think it's a baby deer. But that's probably one of the mild ones. I mean, there was one the other day. To all the people who had the baby on a dog harness and chain on Francis Street. I don't know if you have to go to the bathroom or what, but it's not a good look passing by and seeing a child on a chain. My grandma would have called the police if she's seen that. I did ride my bike back and don't see the baby no more. What in the hell? They got a baby chained to a post.
I mean, I know they had those little kitty leashes around when my kids were little. So, like, if you went to the mall, they couldn't
Wait, you
like
chained
run.
him to a post and leave?
I didn't chain him to the post.
Happy Bro encounter today. Anyone know if Tractor Supply is doing pictures of Santa this year? I mean, they're asking the hard-hitting, important questions. And then apparently the Crystals in Walterboro. Okay, I just said the name of the town. Has a lot to learn. We'll just leave it at that.
I'm
Well,
thinking
maybe we'll add that one of the admins, you're 25 and up and you are in shape, you're invited to our swinging party. There will be lots of fun. You don't even have to have a partner. You can bring your own drinks. There will be plenty on hand. Wear your most comfortable attire. Bring some spare clothes because I guarantee you're going down and we'll get dirty. We will serve hot dogs and hamburgers. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of condom mints. The more the merrier. We'll check your ID at the gate. If interested, please contact the group's moderators. I would love for everyone to come. Here are a couple of the swings. And it's pictures of 2 grown men in swings.
wieners on a stick, huh?
See, I don't know. I don't know what the hell goes on in that group, but it's so fun.
Are you
So
a
this
member of
includes-
this group?
Yes, I had to join to give the advice on my law area that this other attorney who lives in that area asked me to come in and help. It's, I stayed, and my son's best friend at school, I saw his mom like something the other day. I was like, oh, I see her in this group. She's like, man, country people be crazy. This could be a whole nother segment on the pod.
Florida man.
Donkaroos. I was thinking, is this like a raccoon? But apparently it is not because raccoons scare the hell out of me.
Oh.
So, like a Pademelon would run away immediately with an encounter. You see it kind of hiding behind the tree, footprints. It makes cute little piff piff noises, and you feel honored to have been in its presence. Versus a raccoon that will break into your cooler like a burglar, make direct eye contact with you while committing crimes, hold your hot dogs hostage, and you fear for your life. There are these raccoons in Costa Rica when we went, and I was like, oh, they're kind of cute, but then they're like picking up stuff and running off with it with their little hands and like doing all kinds of crazy.
That's
they're fast,
funny.
and they're like staring you down. And you don't know if they have rabies, and they're getting real close. So
They always remind me of little bandits with the way that they have the little, it looks like a mask on.
they're real cute, but
Mm-hmm.
when you're like near them in real life and they're doing crazy stuff, you're like, what kind of drug are you on? And you're not sharing, so that's not a nice segue. I wonder, you have to worry about bears stealing your snacks here. Do you have to worry about kangaroos like boxing you for your Twinkies?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I don't want nobody taking my Twinkies.
Now,
I'm like, how big is that fire pit and why is he standing in it?
look, I'm paying attention. I see what's happening. This is how you get hot D. You light the damn fire underneath you.
Well, shit, let's go burn. Let's go burn ourselves. Let's go stand in a fire pit.
And speaking of lighting a fire underneath, his mama has lit a fun fire underneath Patia. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, I have an adult son. I think his mom's just lonely, honestly. I think she just wants to call, talk for a couple of minutes. It doesn't seem like they're like long conversations, and she's just lonely.
You know what, the editing, I think we're missing something here. If you called your son and he was like, hey, mom, I'm out camping with my girlfriend, would you start asking him if he packed bug spray? And
No, I would definitely get off the phone. I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I won't bother you. I'll catch you another time or something like that.
This is
I don't
literally,
call.
Dylan's like, I am camping with my fiance. And mom was like, oh, that sounds so romantic. Did you bring mosquito? Aren't the mosquitoes bothering you? Well, where are you camping out? She like does not take the hint.
He has a whole
Like,
conversation.
this is a great time to talk.
Good day, mom. Good day, mom.
And then, yes, and then we get this montage of Dylan and Patia filming. Maybe they're walking together. Like they're in the middle of filming. Dylan, you just, good day, mom, just having conversations with her. Not, we're in the middle of filming. I'm out on a date with Patia. If she calls, he stops and starts talking, which Patia says there are boundaries that need to be set. You know what, channel surfers, I agree with this. And just to prove my point, Dee and I have come up with a few examples which could not exit my imagination when I was seeing this segment. Times where Dylan might say, I'll call you back, mom. Okay, so the first one that I could not get out of my mind is I so thought we were about to switch to a scene where you just see a closed bathroom door and you hear Dylan sitting on the toilet saying,
Good day, mom.
to have a conversation with mom or maybe anyone else. Tia also says when they get there, you know, if I'm going to the bathroom, you're coming with me. So now I'm imagining Patia in the middle of a squat, trying to process stuff.
He's
Dylan
probably
just-
helping her balance.
It's kind of leaning up against the tree, and all of a sudden his phone rings and he answers.
Good day, mom.
And then she's like, no. Oh, also, don't touch your mom while I'm pooping. Get off the phone. Rings up.
Good day, mom.
Oh, not the time. Then I don't get a voicemail when he's about to kiss her.
Good day, mom.
Which actually, this reminded me during Greta and Matthew's segment after she talked about how they had sex once. When you cut to scene 2, there's this couple just making out on a bench. I felt like they were trolling her. Like, look, they're getting some
The sweet old couple.
make babies on that bench. Hey, mom. Bad times to answer the phone. When your boss is yelling at you about all the stuff you fucked.
It's not a good day, mom.
Channel surfers, you see the point. There should be boundaries, and we don't know what kind of boundaries have been crossed here. From the edits, this could just be her furthering the storyline. But Patia may have had some weird instances where Dylan was answering and like they're in the bath together.
Good day, mom.
Yeah. We don't need mom sitting there like, oh, how are you doing? And then pulling her into the conversation. Now, I have to say, balance this out because my husband does the opposite of what Dylan does. He puts his phone on Do Not Disturb and forgets about it, which results in my mother-in-law calling me to find him.
Well, maybe that's
I don't
what
want him to
Patia needs.
swing all the other way.
Maybe that's what Patia needs to do. Maybe if she just becomes best friends with mom, mom won't call as much. And if she does, she'll call Patia.
They still need their own time. And she said when she looked at the call log, it was like, a day.
I wonder what would happen like if he called mom first every day? Would she still keep calling, or like when he's free, just call mom? Call your mom right now. Let's see if she, calls anymore since you called her first.
You're assuming that it's just once a day that she's calling.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom, if she calls and I'm in the saying I'm doing anything, she's like, oh, I'll call you back. And
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
I'm
what
like,
I do.
no, like it's fine. I can talk. I don't think I know from at least the
Mhm.
edit that's not what's happening. He's in the middle of a camping date with his fiance and she's wanting to talk about it with him right there. So instead of enjoying the moment, he is describing the moment to mom on his phone. So I get both sides. Like
Yeah.
where you say that would be annoying, that's because you have boundaries, Dee.
I don't do that with my kids.
If you
And they would-
called and your son or daughter are in the middle of a date, you aren't going to sit there and start
Yeah.
getting him to have you join them in a date.
Yeah, I would be like, "Oh, I'll let you go." Yeah, for sure.
So I get it. I get the Tia side on this. Now, one thing I do have to give Dylan props on is we do cut back to a scene after the last episode where it comes out that, he might have told Patia a fib about his mom not liking their age gap.
Mhm.
And when Patia confronts him on this, we're seeing this scene that happened after. Dylan is saying, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. He's taking accountability for this.
We don't see too many guys on these shows doing that either.
I mean, I said yesterday in our Sister Wives podcast that Kitty Brown would rather be right than to be happy, to quote the famous Dr. Phil. Dylan would rather be happy. He's like, yeah, I screwed up and I don't have to explain it or give an excuse or say why this was the right thing to do. I acknowledge my fault in this and you're right. Which, good job. Good job, Dylan.
Yeah.
And speaking of self-reflection and taking accountability and understanding yourself, we turn to Luke and Madeline. Who thought that that would be how we start a segment about Luke and Madeline?
I have to say, I think this is the first time that I have actually felt some emotion for Madeline, and even really kind of, I can't say I disliked her. I always called her a brat. I always thought her behavior was always very bratty, but we seen a vulnerability in her that she looked like a human being to me at this point, and it's not all this bratty stuff that I've been seeing the last few episodes.
The self-realization she has as a 20-year-old is so impressive to me. So we see Luke and Madeline getting out of the car. They're getting their little puppy. She's like, give me my poopy. Give me my poopy. I'm sorry. What did you say? Your poopy. It was just so funny how she said puppy. But he gets her suitcase out of the car and they sit down. He's like, look, we're getting married this weekend. This is not going to work if we're fighting like this. And she becomes very vulnerable and says, my dad was never in my life. Every man I've ever known has been horrible, cheater, and abuser. So I have trouble trusting men. Luke says, I get it. And she says, I need to trust you. Like, you're a good guy. He's like, I am a good guy. Which, this is why even these little transgressions, him lying about something, which, I mean, maybe not a little transgression on repeat, but she is making something way bigger out of it than it might be.
Yeah, I felt like she had been picking fights with him all season.
And it's interesting to look at her versus Greta, where Greta doesn't want to get close to people because she lost somebody very close to her. We're seeing the same thing or something similar, where Madeline is not wanting to get close to people because she's been hurt by people. But Madeline takes a very defensive stance. She just shuts people down, cuts them out of her life, versus Greta, who gives them reasons to leave. But Greta doesn't have the self-realization. In Greta's scenes, we are seeing her question who she is and grappling with her sense of self, whereas Madeline is having self-reflection and processing why she is the way she is at 20 years old. And yeah, I left this scene thinking, oh my gosh, I like this couple. What the hell, editors? Twist in my mind all around.
Yeah.
Also, the fur coat.
What?
I'm still going with puppies. They just want to be one big puppy family and they feel like little furry puppies when they put it on. They might even role play. I don't know.
It's because their kids are puppies.
That's right. And they're the puppy mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
And Luke's about to go hump her leg. Probably some other stuff. His lipstick's sticking out. All right, channel servers. And that is it for our coverage of the 90 Day The Other Way. Season 7, episode 13. We'll see you next week with Sister Wives. And I've got to run to my meeting. We finished this just in time. I've got 12 minutes to get there.
Awesome.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you for listening. And we love you guys. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
That's right.